You guys know it's doing that? Yep. Yep. Where'd y'all go? Did you? Okay, that's Ridgewood or nothing? Good. Oh, okay. I appreciate that. You're talking about you taking me, right? Richie Burrows, he lost a bet to me 2 years ago. It was something about her weight. I said something like, can't remember what it was. It's something. I said, man, you weigh 40 pounds more than me. And he said, there ain't no way. And we bet, and literally, we got on the scales, and I was like 41 less. I mean, it was like right on the line. He is still yet to pay you. I'll pay you next time. I'll pay you next time. I appreciate that. Okay. I'm squeezing a little time with myself, so. Did you really? Grease pop already out? Which shirt you have on? It good one? They was doing that Teddy deal over there. If I hear anything, I'll ask. I will. It's, man, they let you carry any speed whatsoever. It's just, I've heard people going to Charlotte and things are breaking. Tighten it up like that. You're getting cheaper. That's being a lot better. You're getting out there just driving. I'll ask who. What's going on?
need this. I would like to welcome everyone to the June Elizabethton City Schools Board of Education meeting. I'd like to say a special welcome to Melena Griffey, who is going to be our next student liaison, and we're awfully happy that Hannah is here. It's nice to have you both here. It's nice to have everybody here. If everybody would please stand for a moment of silence and pledge to the flag.
Let's have our moment of silence. Thank you. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, it is time for citizens to speak in accordance with Board Policy 1.404, but we didn't have anyone asked to be put on the agenda, so we will move on. It's time to approve the consent and regular agenda. Can I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Have a second?
Second.
Anybody have any questions or comments? If everybody's agreeable, we could take items 6 through 10 and take them as one item, if everybody's okay with that.
Yep.
And then also, per Board Policy 1.108, I am disclosing that I have a family member as a potential new hire. So just wanted to put that in there. Any other questions or comments?
Did we change our food service? Didn't you go and visit another?
We
I
did.
wasn't sure how that was resolved.
The way it was resolved were we basically cut the middleman out.
Okay.
We learned some things that we could do
Mm-hmm.
that would improve what we had, and we started trying a lot of new things. And so as a result, I think Ms. Williams really, we've had, and Ms. Wilson, both, we've had a great result in doing that. So we didn't have to pay a management company to come in, and we were able to save that, and that really is, we're in the black, are we not? We're doing very well
That's
financially, and we're able, one of the great things that has happened too is we had a little tasting, during this
Mhm.
spring semester, looking for products that our kids would really like to come and do. And so Regina worked on that really hard, and we're in great shape there.
So all these food vendors are basically the same ones.
They are, that'll be Mary Ann. Yeah,
Okay.
but we're able to buy some of the other products that we wanted.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? All right, item on the floor is to approve the consent and regular agenda, taking items 6 through 10 as one item. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 All opposed, motion carries. Dr. Gardner?
Okay, very quickly, I have a few comments this evening, but I will not be very long because Mr. Smith is here as our newly hired Bartleby director ×2, because he was our Bartleby director before, part-time, and now he's full-time working with us. So he'll have some comments this evening. I did want to mention our hospital property. We received word from SNME that and we will have a report to send to the board very soon, that we did not have a substantial issue there that we thought we might.
Wow.
And so that is going to be something that will be great for us moving forward, and the cost of the project will be minimal compared to what it could have been if there were issues with that property. We have been working in Harold McCormick. We're putting that out to bid next week. The project there, we have already had quotes, so we know about how much it's going to be, but then they will have people that will respond to the bid coming up to that. We spent time as a result, of some of the issues we've been working on. Internal school audit. Kevin Peters visited this past month, and he has really worked with us to try to make sure that we're working on some of those issues that we have, and trying to put some new protections in place, and just making sure that we have staff trained and are aware of what's going on to make the changes we need to make. We've finished the room division at Westside. Paint went on there today, and so We just lack a little bit of cove base, and we'll be finished there, so that all is going very well. And we are very excited to have Mr. Perkins back working in the fold again, because he has added so much to us just by what he is able to do and how quickly he's able to do it. So we appreciate him. As you'll see down the hallway, we have made that opportunity with the area that we've renovated down in the old kitchen. We've had opportunity to renovate 3 offices for very little money. But one item I'll draw your attention to specifically for this building, we've put a lot of money into the roof here, trying to repair, and the roof is really at its life. We had just a cost estimate. We're trying to get an idea about where it is, and it would be somewhere below $40,000 to replace the area of the roof that's giving us a problem. Just to give you an idea, it's been about $10,000 in repairs probably in the last 18 months just to keep our roof going as it is. So we feel like it's about time for us to look at that. So during this coming year, we look to put that out to bid and see what response we get from people for a possible roof here at Central Office. I would like to say thank you for the class of '57. They came to do a presentation for the board, giving money to our students, and they showed up today with about $45,000 in a check for our students, and they specifically have their wishes in a document that they handed to the board that night, and they have decided to put it in a restricted account at the high school to be given for their wishes to take care of children in Elizabethton. So if you see anybody in the class of '57 and you know somebody very well, give them a hug and tell them thank you for loving our kids. And their big comment today was, we want to keep pushing it forward and keep pushing our kids and give them opportunities. And so that was great. I'd like to invite the board. We have a walkthrough. Part of what you're voting on this evening is Mr. Weems to do some professional service for us as far as coming up with some changes to our high school to work with our Bartleby program. And we have a walkthrough the 27th at 9 o'clock. The mayor's coming, and we're just going to look at some different areas of the high school and talk about some changes we'd like to make, and then work on the design. And so just want to give you an opportunity for some input if you have some time on that day. If you'd like to walk around another day and that's not good for you, please see me and I'll take you personally, and we'll just go down and talk about what we're planning to do there. And finally, Ms. Peters slipped this to me, and we've had a conversation earlier about TN Ready and really what's going on statewide. And some of the other school boards have really come out in opposition to what's going on as far as the testing roller coaster that we've been on. And I think that as the school boards and as the school districts, all the superintendents are talking about having a letter to sign to go to our state legislature. So when it's finalized, we'll have a copy of our own letter, and I'll bring that to the board for you to look at. I think it's something that's worthwhile. Yeah, our kids and our teachers it's kind of a lot of anticipation and not a lot of follow through, and we really need them to follow through and have a repeatable and relatable process for our kids and teachers. So I'll be bringing that to the board next month. And lastly, Terry, if you'd like to give us an update on what work we've been doing with Bartleby.
Yeah, thanks very much. The first thing is the grant. We haven't really talked that much about because we're not really releasing it yet publicly. But as you all know, a few $1 million from that. And the first step from that was to try to find a foundation because to put the money into, because the Educational Foundation that's given us the grant really wanted it to be in a public 501c3, and so we've been working really hard on trying to find those. And so in the past, it's been something where we haven't been able to find one that was good, and they would charge us a 10% fee. So if you take the amount of money that we were going to have to, give a 10% fee, it was going to be a lot of, over $200,000 was what we would have had to pay in fees. We've been able to find 2 that want to do it with us, and been able to negotiate them down, one at 1%, one at 1.25%. So the 1% is in the process, then we will save $207,000, that we will in less in fees. So we're working on that. We should finalize that on 2 days from now, on the 21st. We've had it in writing what they'll do, but they just have to go through one more step with their executive committee. The other thing we've got with the XQ Symposium in San Francisco on July the 10th through the 12th, and so they're paying for 8 of our teachers and administrators to come across and fly out to San Francisco and stay in the hotels there. And the thing that was really impressive to me was how dedicated our administrators and our teachers were to be a part of that. And Rita, you're going. That's going to be great. And I know that some of y'all, Susan, I know you'd love to go. They limited it to 8, and they were primarily going with wanting the teachers and the principals and things like that from the school. So all the teachers and administrators who've been willing to give up their time like that in the summer, I think it's tremendous that they're that dedicated. Going to be going out, and then we have a special honor of having Hannah and McKenna, 2 of our students who were so fantastic, and they're kind of like celebrities in XQ because they know all about them, and and so I get a specific letter about a week ago that says we would like to invite Hannah Roten and McKenna Kaiser out to the symposium to be a part of it and to be a part for the students and speak on behalf of the students and everything, and that goes along with not only they're so fantastic in general, but they're also fantastic as presenters and speakers, and so that's and XQ has seen that. They've said that our students are the best communicators of all the 18 schools, not only presentation-wise but also one-on-one conversations, and they really impressed that whenever they on that night that the XQ came to visit, whenever they won them over so much talking to them. The Buck Institute, we have part of the grant will allow us to, the Buck Institute will have August 6th through the 8th. We have 70 teachers that will be lined up for that, and it'll 3-day project-based training, which is very expensive. We've been able to negotiate that somewhat down, and so but it's still going to be expensive. We did a training at school. We did 2 days of training. Alex Campbell was very important in that with our Bartleby training, working with the teachers, and really what it was really working with them, describing about what we were doing with project-based and what Bartleby was doing, and trying to really just get people on board with that. And one of the things that was really impressive was the second day we had 15 of the junior high school teachers there, and they were really switched on. They were really excited about it, and so we're going to be involved in working with them a lot too to try to expand it out. And know that's Dr. Gartenhauer's and everyone's desire is to spread it throughout the whole district. And along those lines, with the 70 teachers, I don't think Mr. Boatman will need all 70 of them, and so we've promised that some of the junior high school teachers will be allowed to also participate in that and learn from that, which would be great. The rooms, some of the things we were looking at, and Dr. Gartenhauer's been working a lot on this also with all sorts of other ways of raising money, but some of the grant money that we have was going to go looking at 7 areas of the school, which are the commons area, to make that a presentation area with big power screens and everything, so the school needs that. The courtyard area outside, which will be an amphitheater with a stage, the project-based collaboration area with the benches, down there near the science area and the Spanish area, toward the band. That's going to be an outside project-based collaboration area. The maker space, which David Campbell suggested, and that the television studio that we'll have there will be able to do newscasts and daily news type casts and film games and broadcast things like that. The library with 30 of the virtual reality goggles and sets, and some of the other things that would be improved there. And then the outdoor classroom, which was Ms. Wilbur's idea and desire to do that. And I think some of the exciting things about that is that the teachers, and Mr. Boatman did a great job at the faculty meeting the last time we had, and talking to the teachers, and we gave out, Dr. Gartenhauer and Becca had produced some really nice stuff with some papers about everything, the timeline of Bartleby and all the things that we had done, and the 5 different course groups that we were talking about. And the teachers are getting really excited about it, and so they're making recommendations about different rooms that we could improve with. So it's really everybody is really being lifted, and it's getting very exciting around the school. The television studio equipment, I've been looking at that, getting that, because we set aside $20,000 for the studio equipment, so we have that lined up. The 5 course areas, in case anybody, that Bartleby is going to be involved with the Cyclone Experience, Bartleby Cyclone Experience, the blended classes like U.S. History and English, the electives like Community Improvement and Entrepreneurship, the 4th period passion-based courses, which Mr. Boatman and a lot of the guidance office did a tremendous job working on that. All the guidance office was really crucial and really important to that, and really were great with the XQ visit when they came also. And then the senior capstone that we're working on. The Bartleby Cyclone Experience, Dr. Gardenhauer and Dr. Newman and I got together, and we really came up with a curriculum for that, and it was really great. I mean, it's exceptional. You know, it gets into the youngsters having, every 9th grader would take it, self-awareness, self-management, emotional intelligence, leadership, goal setting, careers, is still getting into the CTE because of doing the careers, project-based. And so, and in fact, when I described it on a video conference to XQ the other day, they were really over the moon, like excited about the curriculum and about that course. Along those lines, we had always talked about, and Dr. Gardner and I had always talked about, you know, that was like the 9th grade, you know, having that Cyclone Experience, but we had the senior capstone classes that we were trying to look at a way to have for the 12th graders, because the 9th grader is thinking about his 4 years of high school, a 12th grader is thinking about his 4 years of college or careers afterwards. And Rita, you know, we have this great partnership with Milligan, which continues to improve and grow all the time, and with a lot of dual enrollment that they've offered to our Bartleby students at no cost. And Rita then introduced us to Oscar, who and brought him over, and we had a great meeting. And then from that, we ended up finding out that Milligan has their freshman introductory course, and the freshman introductory course really has the same goals as what we were thinking about with our 12th grade Bartleby capstone classes. So then I proposed, and we've written a proposal to Milligan to see if we can then have that as be one of our dual enrollment courses, so that all the 12th grade students would take that, and therefore they'd get a college credit for it, at the same time learn all the things, and it would be a win-win for everybody all the way around. And Mr. Boatman and Dr. Gardenhauer are working on that to see if that, you know, on our side, and then they're working on it on their side to see if it can work. And I think it will find a way to work, and it's going to be tremendous when it does. Another training thing that we're getting through the grant is the PBL World in Ohio. So we have a group of everyone going to that, teachers and administrators, Dr. Gardenhauer and Mr. Boatman and everyone. Alex was speaking today at the Niswonger conference on project-based learning, so he always does a really good job with that. We're developing the Otis software, which is and we're building the program from scratch for project-based and for what we're trying to accomplish in Bartleby. And Teresa Simcox has been really important to us here in terms of working with that and helping us to build that. And then the thing we're aiming for now, because we're looking at how can we do revenue, increase revenue. And so one of the ways we're looking at that is with the online courses and really expanding throughout the state with an online program. And we're working in 2 directions on that, one with TOPS and one with Niswonger. And so that's really going to be something that's going to be tremendous. And as Dr. Hartenhauer was saying today in our principals meeting, that this is really the future of what is the way things are moving in the direction of being able to. We're in a perfect situation to take advantage of all the trends that are happening across the country and across the state right now. So we have a lot of great stuff going on, and the key factor is, we've only got. It's really exciting what we have and all this the money and all the opportunities that we have, but we really have been packing in the work this summer, because if we don't get it done this summer, then once the school starts, then it's going to be we won't have the time to do it, and it won't be possible to do a lot of the things. And Dr. Gardenhauer, along those lines, has been working really hard with the architect and with other money, and looking at trying to, for this summer, getting that amphitheater finished, and then we're also looking at the outdoor one, and then working on all the other ones with the architect. So it's been going really well. and we hope that Hannah and McKenna have a wonderful time in San Francisco.
They will be great.
Congratulations on your new old job. We are very fortunate to have you, very fortunate.
And thanks for all your hard work, everything that's been going on. It's just been daily. Mr. Boatman, we meet, Dr. Newman, we're meeting constantly, and but it's a good thing. I think our students are at the center of everything we're doing. It's going to be a great product in the end. So.
Sounds like you guys have been very busy.
Absolutely.
Well, we have to, the summer has to be. Like I said, if we don't get it done in summer, then there's so many things to do. We started from day one with a list of 50 things, that we had to do, and we just been going right through them.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys.
I talked with a parent who has a daughter who just graduated and a son coming in, and the daughter who just graduated told her brother, she said, man, it's a good time to be a Cyclone right now. So I thought, yep, that's very true. Anything else?
Yep, that's all.
All right. Okay, let's move on to the regular agenda. So we'll be taking items 6 through 10 all at once. So sit back and let me read a little bit. First item is to approve bid 2018-2019-01-SN, the purchase of bread items from Bimbo Bakeries for the bid period July 1, 2018 through July 30, 2019. This was the lowest responsible compliant bidder. Approved bid 2018-2019-02-SN, the purchase of milk and ice cream from Mayfield Dairy for the bid period July 1, 2018 through July 30, 2019. They were the lowest responsible compliant bidder. Approved bid 2018-2019-03-SN, the purchase of food items from Cisco Knoxville for the bid period July 1, 2018 through July 30, 2019. Approved bid 2018-2019-04-SN, the purchase of miscellaneous cafeteria supplies from Cisco and Summers Hardware for bid period July 1, 2018 through July 30, 2019. Approved bid 2018-2019-05-SN, the purchase of fresh produce from Cisco for the bid period July 1, 2018 through June 30, 2019. Can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Can I have a second?
Second?
Questions or comments? Nope. All right. Since Mr. Fleming isn't here to ask me to read it again, we'll say item on the floor is to approve the bids from Bimbo Bakeries, Mayfield, Cisco Knoxville, Cisco Summers Taylor, and Cisco for the bids. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries, and thank you. Next, approve on first reading and adoption Board Policy 4.601, reporting student progress as revised. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you.
Okay, this was something that went to TSBA. When we made our change in the policy, they sent it back and said this doesn't necessarily follow state law. So we're changing it back to our original language that we had. So it was changed and now it's back.
So what you're saying is we're going back to report cards?
Well, what I'm saying is we are going to continue. There's some debate on written form, whether when the parents get in their access and they're able to get a written copy of that, they can print it from there, but also the opportunity, we would print it for anybody that wanted it, but more parents now are using, we didn't have that at one time, but now more parents are using that. I made some calls to different school systems to see, although the state's law's there, it's one that's kind of lagging behind what's actually going on in practice. I think that obviously we want parents to know any person that would like to have a paper copy of their report card, it will be made available to them. And so if there's any issues, or you all can weigh in on that, but I think at this time we really would want our parents on there, because it's not just report card time, it's what's happening every day. If they can get on there and monitor their child's grades, that's the best situation possible for everybody. So.
Anything else? All right, item on the floor, approve on first reading and adoption Board Policy 4.601, reporting student progress as revised. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Next item, approved contract with Thomas Williams Architect for proposed renovations to existing facility. The Bartleby program at Elizabethton High School, 907 Jason Witten Way, TWA project number 018-021, in the amount not to exceed $15,000 to be paid from the ECS fund balance. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you. Have a second?
Second.
Okay. This particular professional service that we're going to ask of Mr. Weems is to help us with some certain spaces that we know that we're going to need as we transform into a project-based learning school. Part of it is really now we're moving from about 40 students in Bartleby to about 400. And so we have a lot of students there. One of the things that they're going to be interested in, the presentation space, that's a big part of our proposal that we wrote, of doing that, bringing guest speakers, age mixing, those types of things. So if you look at the commons area, we want to do a few things in there that will make sure that we can use that as an effective space. The other space is down between A and B hall at the end, close to the old band room, where the old lockers used to be and where they now have some benches that sit on concrete slabs. We would transform that space to be an area where we would be able to do that. We need help, Mr. Weems, to make sure we're following fire code and we have a good design. They do have a Pinterest board ready for the board that we'll share out with you to help you see some of the ideas that are currently there, and then he's going to work on some renderings for us, so we really have a great idea of what our space will look like. So the Pinterest boards focus on ideas, and this will be, after he does his work, it'll be more something that we can use and we know is compliant when we change the spaces. So with the help that we've received, I think this is a small amount in order to get where we need to be at the high school. And this will bring us into this, what we'll say, into this era maybe, and what we want to do for our kids. So, but we have a lot of work going on the ground already, just moving that forward.
So in other words, we're reinventing high school?
We're reinventing high school.
There we go.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any questions or comments? All right. Item on the floor is approved contract with Thomas Williams Architect for the proposed renovations to existing facility, the Bartleby program at Elizabethton High School. TWA project 018-021, in the amount not to exceed $15,000 to be paid from the fund balance. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Next item, approve the 2018-2019 purchase of backpacks and supplies from Blue Source in an amount not to exceed $11,000. Purchase will be made from donation received for the back-to-school bash. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you. Have a second?
Second.
Just say Dr. Newman and Becca have kind of taken this as well, I'll put it this way, when Dr. Newman came on board, we said, hey, oh, by the way, we have this back to school bash this year, and we would really like you, so she's kept with that. When Becca came on board, she had the same speech, but both of them have worked together, raised all the funds that we need to take care of our kids. We have a gentleman back there who we can thank for a lot of big support out of the police department and the fire department and those people, but the police really, they're at every meeting working with us to try to get positive vibes out in the community and say our police officers are here to help. So, but it's a great event, and thank you, ladies, and thanks for raising the money, because they did all of it, raised all the money to make it happen. So, and thanks to all our probably 40 or 50 businesses that have donated to make it happen for our kids.
So are we at goal? Is it all the money's raised?
We're about at our goal, but we actually have some fund balance from last year that rolled over.
Good.
So we'll probably go over.
Way to go. Good job.
That's fantastic. All right. Item on the floor, approve the 2018-2019 purchase of backpacks and supplies from Blue Source in an amount not to exceed $11,000. Purchase will be made from donations received for the back-to-school bash. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Next item, approve creation of 3 positions beginning the 2018-2019 academic year in the Bartleby XQ program: Bartleby Coach, Bartleby Community Partnership Coordinator, and Bartleby Project Coordinator. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you. Have a second?
Second.
Third.
We like this.
And these positions will just help us facilitate the program, and obviously the proceeds part would be donations that we've received to fund the positions, and part of it, obviously, we have certain people who may be hired in that would already be a teacher within the building. So if that would happen, then we would, they would have a regular course load for the blended. We would pick probably one of the 4 if they applied, so because of their experience with that, but it's fantastic.
Because so some of these positions could possibly be filled with current teachers,
They could,
and
yeah.
then maybe some outside folks.
Yeah, it'll be made, we probably are post internally first, and then post to outside, because the teachers we have in the system who are very familiar with what's going on are going to help us move it forward more quickly, especially if they've been with it 3 years. So there's a possibility there, but we also would open it up outside if we felt that that's that. So
Because it's treated just like a regular teaching position at the school, I mean, as far as
yes,
employment-wise.
it's a little different. Let's say that one of our blended course teachers, let's say that we had them, they would probably have their regular teaching salary, but they would be a stipend. There would be a stipend on top. So they would have their regular teaching responsibilities, and then they would take on other duties and roles in order to help the program move forward. So we would pay a stipend on top of their salary. The other position, which is the community partnership position, would be paid fully out of donations.
And the funding for these is coming from the Bartleby grant, I assume?
Right now, what we're doing is the funding would be paid for out of those donations that have been made.
When we report on our EIS report, where do these fall under when you self-report yours? Are they still
Okay.
instructional personnel and?
They'd be instructional
They count
personnel.
towards that.
If they're doing that, they will all be school system employees. So they would be, one is non-certified, so it would be, the partnership coordinator would be non-certified. The other 2 would be listed as a regular teacher, just like we would pay a coach to do additional duties beyond their normal scope of work, but they would still count as a teacher for us.
Okay.
Any other questions? Item on the floor is approved creation of 3 positions beginning the 2018-2019 academic year in the Bartleby Execute Program: Bartleby Coach, Bartleby Community Partnership Coordinator, and Bartleby Project Coordinator. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. And we have just a few others added on. Approve first reading of Board Policy 4.407, Web Pages as revised. Can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Have a second?
Second?
Okay, when you take a look at this one to begin with, part of that is, and both of them will be pretty closely related in the fact that we're going to give parents during the onboarding process an opportunity to opt out of directory information, specifically photos that we're using. You can't imagine. I talked to Mr. Boatman the other day. We were talking about the fact that at the end of the top 10% banquet, we had to get a photo release and say, okay, everybody, let's go through our photo releases before that was able to do. If we provide an opt-out for parents in the onboarding process, it'll just make it a lot easier. They can say, hey, I'm not for that. We take that out. Otherwise, they would be included in a picture and have rights to do that.
Okay, have any questions? All right, item on the floor, approve first reading of Board Policy 4.407, Web Pages as revised. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carries. Next item, approve first reading of Board Policy 6.601, Student Records Annual Notification of Rights as revised. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
And so this is a companion policy to go along with that. You'll notice in that one, it just says or online as part of the student onboarding process. So these work together for the same reason.
All right, any questions? All right. Item on the floor, approve first reading of Board Policy 6.601, Student Rights, Annual Notification of Rights as revised. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Last item, approve the recommendation for teacher dismissal. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
It's
Anything
just
on
a
this?
recommendation for approval for teacher dismissal.
Okay. Any questions or comments? Okay. Item on the floor, approve the recommendation for teacher dismissal. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carries. You've been given a copy of it's that time of year when we do Dr. Gardenauer's evaluation. So if you would, please fill that out, and you can either get that back to me or send it to Ms. Perkins, and then we will compile that, and then if everybody gets them done in time, we'll go over them in July. So next regular scheduled board meeting will be Tuesday, July 17th, 6:30 here in the Mac Pierce Boardroom. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Thank you.